Okay, now that we understand the communication protocol, let's move on to rule number 7. There will come a time when you have a new boyfriend or girlfriend. It's inevitable. And when that time comes, you're going to have all kinds of emotions for this person. Maybe emotions you haven't felt for a long, long time. You're in love. You want to share everything that's important to you with him or her. Well, rule number 7 is this. Include your ex in the decision about introducing your kids to your new boyfriend or girlfriend. I know, it sounds crazy. Even as I'm saying the words, I can feel many of you cringing. But remember, you are both your children's parents every day, regardless of where they are. Again, your custody arrangement is an artificial barrier intended to separate you from your ex, not you and your ex from your children. The introduction of a significant other is always an area of extreme tension. And it should be. You're their parents. During children's lives, parents are always watching, analyzing, and positioning. We child-proof the house. We listen to them on the baby monitor. We watch them cross the street. We keep our eyes on them every minute in the mall and at the amusement park and any other public place. And yes, we're extremely cautious about who they spend time with. We steer them away from friends who we consider a bad influence. Now we're talking about bringing another adult into their lives. There is no circumstance under the sun that a responsible parent would permit their child to spend time with another adult without both parents meeting and getting to know them first. No way. Think about it. You have sons and daughters who are going to be hanging around with an adult male or female who isn't their mom or dad, sometimes alone, perhaps sleeping in the same house. This is a serious matter. When I was a criminal prosecutor, I was stunned at how many cases of child molestation and abuse occurred at the hands of the boyfriend or girlfriend or step-parent. Yes, that's an extreme thing for me to say, but that's the way our brains work. We prepare for the worst-case scenarios when it comes to our children because a protective nature is embedded into our parental DNA. But even if it's not something as extreme as that, as extreme as molestation or child abuse, what if your new ex's girlfriend or boyfriend is a racist, or a religious zealot, or a devil worshiper, or a pot smoker, or a heavy drinker? And what if you're against these things? Children are impressionable, and it's the obligation of both parents to be constantly vigilant and concerned about the influences in their lives. By including your ex in the decision about when to introduce this adult to your children, not only is it smart to include another set of eyes in light of the massive risk involved, but doing so reduces conflict and acrimony. By doing this, you're eliminating the mystery. You're letting your ex know that you value them as a co-parent, that you're not irrational, and that you expect the same when the situation is reversed. Now, it's worth mentioning the approach Nina and I have taken in connection with this rule. We have simply agreed that neither of us would introduce new boyfriends or girlfriends into the lives of our children, period. Our reasoning was simply this: it's not worth it. Since we each have the kids 50% of the time, that gives us 50% of the time each to date to our heart's content. We started our divorce process when our daughters were 9, 9, and 10 years old. And time flies. With each passing year, time somehow flies even faster. We only have so much time to spend with our children before they're off to college or work and disappear from our day-to-day lives. Neither of us wants to dilute the precious time we have remaining. On our respective nights with our kids, we're with our kids. On our respective nights without our kids, we're with whomever we want. Okay, rule number 8. Never let your new significant other play the role of parent to your children. At some point, you might have a live-in partner or get remarried. If that happens, never forget that your kids only have 2 parents. Why? First, few things create more acrimony, more hostility than another man trying to be the dad or another woman trying to be the mom. It's a sacred role. Think of it this way. How important is it for you to be your child's mom or dad? Your ex feels exactly the same way. And how would you feel if you're the mom and your ex has his kids calling his new wife mom? Or you're the dad and your ex's live-in boyfriend is creating and implementing new parenting rules? Exactly. It's not their role. It's not their place. It's a slap in your face. And just the same, if you do that, it's a slap in your ex's face. Where the kids go to school, what is their bedtime, which sports or musical instruments will they play, if and where and how they pursue their religion, and every other parenting decision is between you and your ex. The opinions of yours and your ex's new significant other are not relevant. Okay, the second reason you want to keep your significant other out of the parenting role is that it creates massive confusion, anger, and stress for your children. Your boyfriend or new husband is not their dad. Your girlfriend or new wife is not their mom. It's hard enough for the actual parents to maintain control of their children when they're living under the same roof, when the hierarchy is clear, when the rules come from one united voice. Now you have two households, which even in the best circumstances creates some confusion. But when you add two more adults into the position of control, neither of whom are actually the mom or dad, it puts your children into an impossible position, one that is destined for stress and conflict. Okay, you might be thinking, but I love this woman and I want her to be part of my kids' lives, or he's so good to them. No problem. Just don't let them parent your children. Your children need peace between you and your ex. Your children don't need the stress and confusion over another parent in their lives. And if your new partner can't understand that, if your partner cannot refrain from playing the role of mom or dad to your kids, unload them. What? No way. I love Gwyneth. I love Gust. I can't live without Billy Ray. Chelsea is my true love. How can I unload them? Well, nothing's free in this world. Your options are more limited the second time around. Your needs must come second to the needs of your children, to your obligations as a parent, even if that means losing a partner you think you really love. Now, if you're on the fence about this, about who's more important in your life between your kids and your ex or your new partner, let's face some hard facts. Second marriages have a substantially higher failure rate than first marriages. First marriages fail 50% of the time. Second marriages fail almost 70% of the time. And third marriages fail almost 75% of the time. So, no matter how you feel today, there's at least a 70% chance that this person you're with now won't even be in your life in a few years. And if they're the kind of person who cannot understand that you need to put your children first, they're almost certain to be gone once your early stage emotions settle down. Your children and your ex, on the other hand, are almost certain still to be in your life forevermore. Either way, whether you finally found your true soulmate the second time around, or if you're in a relationship that won't last through your first wedding anniversary, it's simply not relevant. Your children have one mom and one dad, two people who make all the parenting decisions, neither of whom is your new significant other.